What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great morning. It's now about our afternoon here, but hope you're doing well. Hope you're happy. Hope you're healthy. Hope you're staying warm. Hope all of those amazing things for you. Lot of buzz, lot of chatter, lot of disruption, a lot of different things going on in our real estate industry, causing people to freak out. Zillow buys ShowingTime for $500 million for $500 million $1 bills. Zillow makes another power move. What it means, why I'm digging a moat around my business, and why I think you should join me and dig a moat around yours as if it's the Crusades and we are King Arthur and we are protecting our castle. Lot of different things here, and so there's been a history of revolutions, if you will, and there's been a history of, well, there's been a history of different things in and around the world. And if we look at history, we can learn lessons from it, and we can understand what it means about some different things, right? So if we look at the first industrial revolution, this was when we took water and took it then and made steam power to mechanize production, right? So we took water and we were able to make it go, like, imagine like a train, right? Like we were able to take that and coal and make and get things done. The second industrial revolution that we faced as a society, as a culture, as a world, was when we took electric power and created mass production, right? The third industrial revolution was electronics and IT technology to automate this production, right? So computers was the third industrial revolution. Now, this fourth industrial revolution takes the third and compounds it and makes it bigger and badder and scarier to some. So this fourth industrial revolution really has been going on, I don't know, probably the last 20, 25 years since the days of the internet really started to take off. And this fourth industrial revolution, it's a digital revolution that we've been seeing. And what it does is it takes these technologies, it blurs the lines between the physical and the digital, and then it creates this biological sphere, which really then takes us to data. Because what we're doing, right, and you've seen this if you've looked at friends and family and social, they tell social media, they tell their story on social media better than they tell their best friend. They tell more on Facebook than they do to their wife, to their husband, right? People love to go to social and blast their opinions, their Facebook profile, their Instagram feed, their LinkedIn profile, what you do on your iPhone, right? It's all aggregated data. It's all aggregated data. We see it from Facebook. We see it from Google. We see it on Amazon, right? Where we can say, like, we're talking about a company and a product, and the next thing you know, you open your IG, you open IG and you're scrolling through your stories, and next thing you know, like, there's that product. And you're like, damn it, my phone's listening to me. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like if you said, "Hey Siri," or if you said, "Hey Google," or "Hey Alexa," the machine is going to hear what you're saying. They're always listening. They're hearing our conversations, and they're aggregating our data that we use. And now big data companies are taking that information, retargeting it, repurposing it back to us in the form of advertising revenue stream, right? Because if you look at Facebook, for example, it's a free platform. Facebook is free, right? You don't get charged to be on the platform. I don't get charged to be on the platform. Yet somehow Facebook is a billion-dollar company with tons of money. Well, where does that come from? It comes from advertisers. Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg realized they needed to be a way for them to monetize their asset in order to then make money and make it a business. So, what did they do? They created an advertising platform. They went out and found a really smart advertising executive, brought them in, and made them an opportunity through what people post on their timeline, what information they put in their about section, right? They're taking all of that information, repurposing it, and going, hey, Mr. User that sells t shirts, this guy loves t shirts. You should market to him. So for 30 cents an impression and 25 cents a click or whatever it is, right? Now they're creating revenue based off of the information you provide the third party platform. Instagram, same thing. Facebook owns Instagram, right? Facebook sucked at pictures and video, right? Instagram was really good at it. So what did Facebook do? They went and bought Instagram. Facebook realized that people were connecting via FaceTime and texting. So what did they do? They went out and bought WhatsApp. They bought another data company. Follow me here? So this is all an attention grab on your data. That's what this is all about. It's all about your data. So when Zillow bought Dotloop years ago, what did Zillow actually buy? Zillow bought transactional data historically from brokers that didn't have an opt out. So now Zillow's able to take all of the historical data from all of the transactions that have taken place since Dotloop's inception, minus the brokers that opted out of the data sharing, right? And we are one of them, right? We opted out. So Zillow takes this information, now they use it on their website to increase their estimate so that they can now predict the future of real estate, of home values, right? The same exact thing is happening here with Zillow buying ShowingTime. ShowingTime in 2020 bought out centralized showing service, right? So CSS gets bought out by ShowingTime. ShowingTime becomes the largest aggregate of client information on properties, right? So you see what's happening now, right? So ShowingTime buys CSS goes away. ShowingTime is the solution in the realtor community to schedule showings. Now, and how does a showing get scheduled in ShowingTime? You have to put your information in. The seller's contact information goes in. The buyer's agent's contact information goes in, right? So it's a data aggregate. It now has statistical data for every single showing, how many showings, how long the life of a property is on the market, all of these historical trends ShowingTime now has. So when Dotloop buys ShowingTime, it's not that they're buying a showing service, because yes, that is what they're buying, but what they bought was an entire country's worth of data and historical trends on listing activity, right? They're buying your data, they're buying information. Because whoever has the most information in this digital age, whoever has the most information is going to then be able to predict trends better, faster, and easier, allowing them to then continue to be this front and center object, right? Is Zillow a disruptor? Yes, they are. Are they coming in and revolutionizing the way the home buyer and seller can potentially purchase and sell real estate? Yes, they are, right? That's all happening. And okay, somebody has to, because for years we've been susceptible by NAR, by the local association, by the MLS, who just gave our information to these third party. So we got sold out years ago. And now we're sitting here as an industry going, holy crap, what do we do? Does that make sense? So where we're at today is because of what took place 10, 15, 20 years ago. Now it's rearing its ugly head. So, am I building a moat around my business? You better believe I am. Should you be building a moat around your business? You better believe you should. The CEO of Zillow this morning was on CNBC doing an interview talking about where they think they're going, talking about the real estate trend. And they flat out they want to make the home buying and selling experience very similar to that of Amazon, very similar to that of the point and click. Are they going to be able to do it? Time's going to tell. Time's going to tell, right? So between the Zillow Instant Offer, their iBuyer program, their mortgages, they're going to get into title. They're going to build an all-in-one service for the home buyer and for the home seller. And yet, what I think is so fascinating and is interesting is I think there's an opportunity. I think there's an opportunity for a couple different things. Nothing is ever as good as it seems, and nothing is ever as bad as it seems, right? So that's first and foremost. Nothing's as good as it seems, and nothing as bad as it seems. There's also, I believe, no such thing as a good market and no such thing as a bad market. At any given time, guys, at any given time, the market is good for some and bad for others. Does that make sense? It's good for some and bad for others. The real job here, the real job of being an entrepreneur in this business is to make the proactive change from time to time to make sure that our market is good for us. See, change can either serve you or it can hinder you, right? And we have to be open to changing ourselves before any of these benefits of change can apply. So, am I worried about Zillow as a disruptor? Yeah, and kinda, because this is what I've done for the last 11 years. But at the same time, I'm aware enough to know that if I use this as an opportunity to build and grow, it might not be as bad as it seems. Our industry is probably going to look different in the future, right? Like that's obvious. It's not, and anybody that's been in this business longer than 15 years understands that this industry has changed. If you were in business in the 80s and the 90s, there was a book of listings, and that was what you'd go through, right? But there's always going to be a way to create wealth with real estate. There's always going to be a way for realtors and non-realtors alike to create wealth, and it's going to be up to us to change this information. But really what I also want to say is that I'm going to challenge the assumption that listings are proprietary information. See, you're protected once you have a signed listing agreement, but there's nothing in the marketplace that's going to prevent a competitor from pitching its competing offer. Once there, if our commodity is marketing, we're going to fail. There's going to be a company out there that's going to outspend us, and there's going to be a company out there that's going to outmarket us all day long, right? Like we don't have the money like Zillow does. We don't have the money like some of these other tech companies have for them to go out and to take this, right? So if marketing is our commodity, we're going to fail there too because again, we're going to get outspent and we're going to get outmarketed. But I wouldn't put too many eggs in the open house basket either, right? So our value is not going to be providing open houses because companies like Matterport, they've already taken that advantage. And there's nothing proprietary about professional photos or video tours or postcards. The counter to what's going on can't be marketing. So then if you say, okay, Rich, but our commodity is access to the marketplace. I'm going to challenge you to look no further than what Amazon has done to local retailers, right? Buyers are always going to, if you look at the way a buyer works, they're always going to go to where they have the most options, where they have the most offerings. So the commodity can't be access to the marketplace. And in taking that one step further, preventing access to the marketplace is against the law. So that's not going to work. So if our commodity is convenience and service, well, then we have to look at companies like Netflix They found a way to deliver the exact same product to a company, or they decided, I'm sorry, they found a way to deliver the exact same product to the public in a more efficient way and brought down big giants like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and Family Video along the way, right? So it can't be convenience and service. So here's where I start to build my moat around my castle. Here's why I think you should build your moat around your castle. If your commodity is professional service, if your commodity is professional service and the ability to provide buyers and sellers the information they need to make a wise decision, and if we can advise them of the true and the actual worth, if we can solve a different solution and produce an intelligent and favorable outcome, guys, we're not just going to survive, we're going to thrive. Because what these iBuyers and what Zillow and what all of these companies are trying to do is eliminate us. And they can take away the listings, they can take away the photography, they can take away open houses, they can take away the convenience, right? But what they can't do is take away the you and me being the professional, the local expert, being the person that a client goes to in this effort to serve the better, greater good. See, you even like take companies like Angie's List, for example, right? Like, why does a company like Angie's List even exist? Think about this. Angie's List is a conglomeration of third party vendors that pay to be recommended when somebody needs a plumber, a carpenter, an electrician, of anything, right? That's Angie's List. Guys, don't we have access to that? The reason Angie's List exists is because we didn't do our job. As professionals, we didn't do our job to our client. See, many people, they sold that house and they went on to the next one. They listed that house and went on to the next one. They sold it for a few years and real estate's too hard and they left the industry. Angie's List exists because we didn't do our job in connecting, communicating, fostering, and embracing relationships with our clients and with our communities. Because I believe, guys, I believe that if every single one of us created our own Angie's List, that when our clients needed a plumber, they wouldn't go to Angie's List. They'd go to Rich's List. They'd go to Dave's list. They'd go to Christian's list. They'd go to Aaron's list. They wouldn't need Angie because we would have had solidified that relationship with them by digging the moat around our business so that we could protect it. See, if you're not taking every single person that you know and getting their name, address, email address, phone number, and birthday, anniversary, if you're not going out and getting all of that information and curating this, you're gonna lose. Because what people want to know is that they're cared about. And they want to know that you genuinely give a shit, right? So if we're not doing that, how can we even sit here and get all mad that another company found a way to do it because we had the same opportunity? We had the same opportunity and many of us chose not to. So by digging a moat around your business, by providing exceptional customer service, by being the community expert, by being that resource, by being that person that not only sold them their house, but connected them with quality professionals that not only took care of them, but were an extension of your business. Guess what? We win. We win. See, we should be creating our own database of people. Like our sphere of influence should be those that know us, like us, trust us. And then it should be like the community. And then it should be like everybody else. And the goal should be to take everybody and slowly bring them through this funnel to where they know you, like you, trust you. And every time you say, this guy's awesome, they're going to believe it. That's our moat. It's the professionalism. It's the service we provide. It's being the local expert of choice, right? Because buying a house is not like buying a car. It's not. Selling a house is not like selling it. It's not like trading in your car, right? Nobody ever leaves the car dealership going, man, I got a great deal. Or I can't believe I made money on. Nobody walks off the car, off that lot going, I won. Because when you're buying a car and selling a car, you have nobody representing you. And yet, when a professional real estate agent's hired, how many times do your clients go, man, I got a great deal on that house? Or I can't believe how much money I made. I can't believe you saved me so much money. Guys, this is more than selling real estate. This is our future. And some of us are going to choose to do nothing about it, and that's your prerogative. And some of us are going to go out back and they're going to get a shovel and you're going to start digging a moat around your business and you're going to bulletproof it. And you're going to build a moat around your castle. You're going to protect it. You're going to do everything you can to ensure that the professionalism and the service you provide your client doesn't go away. Because there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to try and take away your business, that's going to try and take away your market share, and that's going to try and put you out of business. And yet the agents that I know, that I coach, that I work with, that are doing 14, 15, 20, 30, 40 million dollars in volume, they have great relationships. They have people that are constantly referring them business because they're constantly staying in front of them. They're constantly being in front, and they're lead generating and they're protecting their moat. They're protecting their castle. We have that same ability. If you're a new agent, you have that ability. You have the exact same ability to go through and get 27 index cards and go and find the best plumber, go and find the best architect, go and find the best, go through that alphabet, go find the best three vendors in that entire, in each letter, and go connect with them and go, hey, I want to refer you business. And in exchange, I want you to provide exceptional customer service to my clients. Because if I'm going to refer you and you don't provide exceptional service, you're out. Because this is my name on the line. This is my business on the line. We can do this. You can do this. And this is a great time to start because it's only going to get more competitive. It's only going to get crazier. And trust this. Trust this. The agents that are going to succeed in this business are going to create their own agents list. They're going to create a moat to protect them. And then they're going to be the ones that survive. I trust that you can do this. I know you can do this. It's not as hard as it sounds. It does take work, right? But the sky is not falling. There's going to be another company that's going to come out and they're going to buy another piece of real estate process. There's going to be another iBuyer that come into the market. There's going to be another, there's going to be disruption. And there's going to be disruption because this industry has a history of throwing ourselves out to the wolves and selling us out. And it's what it is. We have to find a way to adapt. We have to find a way to survive. And I believe the only way to do that is to provide exceptional customer service and a professional service. Because there's an entire generation of people right now that are getting married, that are having kids, that are outgrowing where they're at, that are going to enter the real estate market as buyers. And guess what? They use Zillow. They do, because it's easy, because they have brand recognition, they have name recognition. Everybody has that downloaded on their phone. So either embrace the fact that they're there and try to figure out a way to work with it through the customer service, through your follow up and building your sphere, or just give up and give in to the fact that they're here and that there's going to be somebody else that comes in and it's going to cause another disruption. But there's the largest generation of population is now going to start entering the home buying process. And the second largest generation is going to start selling their houses. This is going to create a perfect storm, especially with low interest rates. You have the boomers that are going to start downsizing and that they're going to start, relocating into a different phase of life. You have the next phase of millennial that's established in their career. They're getting married. They're having kids. They're not going to rent because they're smart. They're seeing this. They're going to enter the market. That's what's going to happen here. So adapt and thrive, or be stagnant and just watch the world go by. It's your choice. And I trust you're going to make the right decision for you and your family, for you and your business, for you and your future. I trust you're going to do that. And I think we can have fun too. I think this can be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope there was value that you got here. If you haven't already, iTunes podcast, Google podcast, Spotify, download, subscribe to the Ritual Thinking podcast. Hit me up on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me here in the Facebook group, guys. I literally, this is where I thrive, is being able to help and have these conversations. I want nothing more than to see you win. And if you can take this and share it with somebody, share them the link to the podcast, share them the link to the YouTube video when it's posted. Help get the word out, because there are so many people out there that don't understand that this is an opportunity. And they're like, oh, the sky is falling, right? It's Chicken Little. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. And it's only going to fall if you stand there and do nothing. I hope this was valuable. Like I said, please share this with a friend, share this with somebody that you think needs to see, needs to hear that there is an opportunity to grow, to thrive, to succeed. I'm Rich Ganim. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.